Tari, the Little Balinese Dancer, written by Pamela Nonsi, illustrated by Greta Lamore. Published by Tuttle Publishing. An old legend tells of the first morning in Bali. Long, long ago, a giant turtle, tired of wandering the oceans, came to rest in a warm turquoise sea. The turtle's back formed a great mountain. In the morning light, people came there seeking safety. They cried, "This must be the home of the gods." And that same day, they began to make the land and everything on it beautiful. They created enchanting music and dances in the hope that they would be allowed to stay. Many Balinese still believe this legend. They feel blessed to live on the island of Bali, where each morning warm rays of light shine on the ocean, play hide and seek in the coconut trees, and dance up the mountains. In a tiny mountain village, golden beams of sunlight gently touch the heart-shaped face of a sleeping child named Tari. She awakes to a symphony of sounds, mooing cows, whistling birds, and many barking dogs. Her little dog, Gong Gong, whose name means barking in Indonesian, sniffs and scratches at her door. Tari steps outside where Gong Gong is waiting, wagging his tail. She picks a yellow flower for her hair. Then she walks through the garden where she says hello to her father and older brother as they leave to work in the rice field. Her mother has already left for her work at the market. Homes in Bali are in a walled compound with several small buildings. People say the compound is laid out in the order of a human body. The head is the temple area where the gods are believed to visit. Next comes the heart, the large ceremony house used for special occasions. The small bedroom houses are like arms stretching out on each side. The garden in the center makes up the body. At the foot is the kitchen, garbage area, rice barn, and area for the pigs. A stone-carved gate surrounds all of it. Tari stands on tiptoe to place an offering on one of the family shrines. In the distance, she can see a great volcano. The volcano is called Gunung Agung, which means great mountain, and all the temples in Bali face this volcano. Each day, when Tari finishes the offerings, she loves to go to grandmother's house with Gong Gong. Grandmother always tells such wonderful stories about when she was young. From the garden, she calls, "Grandmother, are you awake?" Grandmother steps out of her small house and waits for Tari on the porch. She carries a large covered basket. Tari looks into grandmother's kind eyes. They lean together, their small noses almost touching, and enjoy a little sniff of each other. In this way, they show their love. Tari wonders what is in the basket. Grandmother carefully reaches in and lifts out a shimmering headdress. Tiny flowers of beaten gold spring from a crown set with glittering red stones. "Oh," cries Tari in excitement, "it is the most wonderful headdress she has ever seen." "How beautiful you are," grandmother says, as she places the crown on Tari's head. "The king of Bali gave this to me when I was asked to dance in Paris when I was a young girl. Now I want you to have it." Tari thanks grandmother with all her heart. Then she hurries to her small family house. She stands in front of the mirror, pretending she has been asked to dance in a faraway land, when a moon-faced girl in a uniform appears. It is her best friend, Putu. "Tari, hurry! We'll be late for school." On the way to school, Tari and Putu walk past the rice fields. Tari knows that her father and brother are now planting sprouts of rice. At planting time, the fields are filled with water, making a daydream mirror to reflect the clouds above. Tari likes to think of rice paddies as steps cut out for giants, going up and down, covering the hills and plains for as far as the eye can see. Before they go into their school, Tari and Putu stop to buy breakfast from a pushcart. They give a few coins for yellow rice in a green banana leaf bowl. After school, Tari arrives at the home of her dance teacher, where she hears the exciting sound of gamelan music drifting over the garden gate. Almost every day, she practices a dance for young girls called legong. Tari warms up with the other girl dancers. They bend their knees and sway from the waist like trees blowing in the wind. With knees bent and backs straight, they take small, firm steps. They move around in a circle, arms and fingers moving in the air. At the same time, their eyes dart from side to side. Sometimes the teacher stands behind one of the girls, lifting an arm or moving a shoulder into the correct position. Sometimes the teacher whispers in Tari's ear, "You are a dragonfly," or maybe, "You are a deer disturbed by flies." In this way, they go through all the movements of the dance. The musicians of the gamelan orchestra are nearby practicing on their drums and metal-keyed instruments. A young boy learns to play by listening and remembering. There is no written music in Bali. The teacher simply moves the student's hand to the rhythm. After many days of practice, it is at last time to perform. Tari remembers that her grandmother was once a great dancer, and she is very happy to be dancing. Her teacher has chosen her to be the lead legong dancer for a special village performance. Backstage, Tari's mother and aunt help her get ready, and Putu, her best friend, helps Tari put on her makeup with a white dot between her eyes. Lastly, grandmother's headdress is placed on Tari's head. Putu cries, seeing how beautiful Tari looks. Tari feels magic in the headdress. She stands confidently at the top of the steps, looking at the empty stage, the audience, and the starry night. She can feel her grandmother very close to her as the gamelan music begins. Without a thought, Tari crosses over into the land of dance. As Tari dances down the steps to the stage, Putu watches from the audience. She thinks Tari is the best dancer in all of Bali and is so happy to be her best friend. Tari concentrates on the music. 1 minute she is still, and the next she vibrates with electric energy. Tourists in the audience take pictures of Tari. They cannot believe that such a young girl can dazzle them so. The villagers, including Tari's family, watch proudly. But the villagers do not clap like the tourists. They have enjoyed the dance and are thrilled with the dancers, but clapping is not a custom in Bali. Tari and Putu watch as other dancers appear on the stage to conclude the night's performance in perfect time with the music. As everyone walks home, Tari and Putu hold hands as they walk up the mountain path with Gong Gong following. In the clear night sky, a full moon shines brightly. Tari and Putu laugh when they hear a familiar sound. Kadok! 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 The girls call back. Kadok! 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 Sing the frogs. The end.